Hello, my crow friends. I'm not sure I've ever done a reading for crows before, but here we go. Crow, spiritually strong, creative, watchful. The crow has long been a symbol of magic. A crow personality is drawn to the supernatural and has a gift for seeing the unseen, knowing the unknown. It is said that the crow holds within its mind's eye the three realities, past, present, and future. Crow energy is potent and should only be tapped into when the mind is clear. Those with crow tendencies must balance their lives with a healthy diet, joyful friends, and regular self-study. When in balance, psychic, strong, clear. When out of balance, ungrounded, hypersensitive. To bring it to balance, daily meditation practice. And it's coming to me that if you have had or have a lifestyle that includes a lot of chemical means to change your state of consciousness, that's probably not a good choice for you. That would definitely, I think, destabilize you. And yet it's really important, I think, for someone with this crow energy to ground themselves. So whatever helps you to do that would be a good idea. Anyway, I pulled these 6 cards, or 7 cards, to help you determine whether or not this is your reading. And I intended for 6, I got 7. The 7th is I, psychic ability, trust your intuition. Seems a bit redundant given that you're the crow person, but I wanted to mention it since it came out. So not unsuccessful plans. Caterpillar, things will not always be this way. A change is coming. So, cause for optimism. We have ladder, climbing towards success and family sorrow. So it sounds like some things have been very difficult for you. Pay attention to your finances, opportunity or windfall. All right, things are going to work out, I think. Not quickly necessarily, but in the long run. Let's see what message you have from the divine today. So, first 3 cards are Lily, Race Car, and Twin Flames. That's quite a start. Next, we have Diamond Ring. All right, so you started off with, well, first of all, you're a crow person. So a lot of intuition going on, a lot of need for grounding, a lot of sensitivity that must be balanced, must be addressed in your lifestyle. Then we have your first row. Lily, established, ambition, experience, sexuality, achievement, longevity, mature, career, virtue, development, retired. Race car, get going, pressure's on, urgent, do it now, somebody really wants to move quickly. And then a soul connection. This deck uses the term twin flames, which I dislike strongly, but soul connections is another term that we can use, and it's got less baggage. Nevertheless, there's a sense of commitment or a desire to move on to a greater level of commitment, whatever that may be. But a soul connection is like an avalanche. It is, for a while, it feels like an external, uncontrollable force. And I'm not really going to debate what it is or is not. I will tell you that the best way to deal with it is to work on yourself, to get your own head together, create some coherence between your heart and your mind, some alignment. You will probably have to deal with spirituality as well. But maybe you know all this already because you are the crow person. Now, the last line here is sunrise. So, a new day, a fresh start, bright future. There is a woman. That's the card, the woman card. So, you may be a woman, the person on your mind may be a woman, generally a love interest. And then firefly, illumination, magical, self-discovery, soul spark, light codes, creative spark, all the things you would expect from a soul connection. Now the rabbits here, I'm not quite sure about the rabbits. So they are also a card of new beginnings, and they came out right before the sunrise card, so that kind of confirms that. I find they're timid is one of the words there. Rabbits are timid. They are resourceful. They are fertile. They multiply. Everybody knows that about rabbits. But having it between these two cards, I'm really the word timid is just coming up to me very strongly. So it may be that someone is feeling timid, which is, this is very destabilizing. You've got the avalanche there. So it kind of wipes out life as you knew it and sends you on a whole completely different path. And it's no wonder that you would feel a bit uncertain at the very least, because everything you thought was true is not quite accurate anymore. Now, I did get 3 more cards out. Let's see what they are. Abundance, chasing after something, cry, emotional release, but also fulfillment. It could be tears of joy or tears of sorrow, or tears of release. A need for planning, the butterfly effect. Well, I think soul connection is definitely a butterfly effect. Stepping stones, the process of arrival, step by step. Yeah. So this initial the initial meeting can create a lot of desire to move quickly, and at different times in the process of the experience you may feel like moving quickly, but the truth is it's a slow process. You have to take it step by step, and the only way out is through. So keep going, baby steps, progress, spiritual growth. That is your last card. I really don't think you can beat it for advice on how to deal with this situation. Take it slowly. You have a lot to learn, a lot to process. There will be things to mourn. There will be things to release. And there may well be tears of joy as well. So let yourself experience it all. If you try to prevent the process from happening, that'll just slow things down and make it more painful. That is my experience with awakenings. The more you fight them, the longer they take, the more painful they are. So you might as well just give in and let it happen. All right, let's see what you want to address. You're trying to keep your focus on your pentacles, your material world. I spoke too soon. All right, we'll do two different piles here. We have the Ace of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. So, understandably, the soul connections are pretty overwhelming. They're hard to ignore. But you also have the Ace of Pentacles. You have your pentacle world, your material well-being, the way you make money, income, pay your bills. You still have to keep going to work and paying your bills. So, what do we need to know about this Ace of Pentacles? This is, of course, the Ace, so it's a card of beginnings. Perhaps a new job, perhaps a new way of generating income. Certainly a desire for rapid progress and success. And maybe you will have rapid progress and success, especially if you don't fight the awakening. So, it may feel like you are being asked to take the Fool's Leap, especially if you are having to start over again in a new field, perhaps, which can happen. If you have the Avalanche card right at the center here, so you may have lost your old life altogether. And now you're really grinding away, trying to put things back together or reestablish a foundation for yourself. Although we don't have a 4, so maybe not. You may be a Knight of Pentacles. So slow-moving, diligent, persistent. Very useful trait. That's odd. Now we have the Page of Pentacles. Perhaps that's where you started out. Page of Pentacles in reverse. You like to take shortcuts. You weren't concerned about the ethics of the situation. You just wanted to get where you wanted to be without worrying about how you got there overly much. And we have the Community card in reverse. So this is family and friends, but this is long-term relationships, long-term connections. So this would be friends connections from childhood, people that have been with you for decades, and that you at least thought would be with you for your entire life. Maybe they will be, maybe they won't be. Right here, they're showing up as in reverse, so not supportive of whatever is going on in your pentacle world, certainly. They tend not to be very understanding about soul connections, too. You can't really blame them. If you haven't experienced it, I can completely understand why you would not believe in it. And how could your community possibly understand it or believe in it? I mean, I guess there are some people, a lot of people, who do believe in it, or maybe they just want to believe it's true. But until you've experienced it, I don't think you can describe it adequately to someone else. It just sounds like nonsense. So maybe give them some tolerance, perhaps, for their lack of understanding. I was very much involved in spirituality and holistic healing before it happened to me, and I was completely taken aback. I mean, I was not the most woo-woo person out there. Never really went that far. But I definitely had a lot of experiences that most people would consider impossible. But, I was still not prepared for this. In any case. So, as far as your pentacle situation goes, you have or will be planting something new. The Ace of Pentacles is very much like a seed. It's a new direction. It takes a while, maybe a long while, for the harvest. In the meantime, you have to deal with, I don't know who these people are. We have, I think this is you, this Knight of Pentacles. This is in the upright, though. Maybe you were this Page of Pentacles in reverse. Maybe there is a Page of Pentacles in reverse in your life. Somebody who is not ethical, who wants to get what they want without having to put forth that much effort. And it's someone who's, pretty immature. And of course, an unsupportive community. Can't really blame them. 8 of Pentacles. Lots of grind work to be done. Just grinding away. All the little bits and pieces that need to go. And it will take time. Not the speed you hoped for. And it is, you have the Fool next to the Chariot. So maybe you foolishly ran off and made a very fast, unreasoned decision regarding your pentacles. All right, so yes, I am focusing on the Lovers now, or the Two of Cups now, your soul connection now, and the Lovers card came out. So, more confirmation that it's a soul connection. Maybe you needed a lot of confirmation because the Two of Cups can be seen as a soul connection card. The Lovers card is seen as a soul connection card. I don't know how many more soul connection cards I can get out here. Now we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Again, someone who is not terribly honest, ruthless, sharp-tongued, uses the truth as a weapon to hurt others. Is this who you're in connection with? The other thing to remember about the Queen of Swords is that they've been hurt. They've been through a lot. I don't know which... I'm not excusing their behavior. I'm simply saying that this may be a factor. All right, we have Judgment in reverse. So this is a person who is fighting off this call. They don't want it. And maybe that's why they're fighting. So there's Queen in reverse, because they are fighting this. They don't want to believe in it. They don't want it to be true. And they're fighting back. But perhaps a bit like a cornered animal who will bite anybody who comes near, including those who are trying to help them. Now we have the King of Pentacles. Well, this is an interesting alignment. I don't know. Set of characters. So usually when I see the soul connections, one of them is a knight or a page, and the other one is a king or a queen. So now, but in this one we have a king or a queen. We have a king and a queen. Not in the same suit, which means you're not in alignment. But at least there's a certain level of maturity that you both have reached. And it looks like one of you has definitely been working on their masculine. The Magician is called the Divine Masculine, the spiritual aspects of the Divine Masculine. I really, 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 really dislike using the terms masculine or feminine because they are examples of societal programming and support the completely false notion that some traits are gendered. And in fact, a whole and complete human has all of these traits, and they have absolutely nothing to do with gender. But regardless, we have here a structured, disciplined, spiritual person who is working consciously and actively to co-create with the universe. This is someone who has worked on all of the suits. So each suit represents an aspect of the personality. We have passion and inspiration and creativity in the wands. We have emotions in the cups. We have mental strength, clarity, intellect in swords. And we have stability, establishment in the material world in pentacles. So physical abundance in pentacles. Wands and cups are both more about or closer to spirituality and intuition in different ways. And the air is, swords represents the element of air. So my point is that the Magician has worked with all of the elements, has mastered all of the elements, and therefore is a much more complete human being than most. And here we have the Page of Cups, but this is in the upright. And given that we have two adults here, I would guess that there's a child involved. Whether it's the desire for a child or an actual physical child who is already here, whose well-being must be considered before any actions are taken by either one of these two, or must be considered at all times. All right, so you do seem to be two mature people, at least physically. Pertinent, maybe emotionally as well, even though one of you is really fighting very hard. So normally what I see is, or how I describe it to myself, is there is one who is spiritually and emotionally more advanced, more developed, and then there is one who is more materially oriented. I should say oriented. So there is one who is more spiritually and emotionally oriented and one who is more materially oriented. Obviously, to live a successful, abundant life, you need all of those. But these two people are not balanced when they meet. That's the whole point. Their lack of balance creates the tension and provokes each other to learn and grow from each other, and to learn and grow away from each other. So, the first thing is to let go of the idea that you will be together. Because there's a very, very, very strong possibility that you will not. You are here to help each other grow and develop to become more complete human beings. And that is very valuable. But it does not require that you have a long-term connection. It's possible. What I've generally heard, although I am not very well versed in the mythology because I think of it as mythology, so I don't take it too seriously. A lot of people have a lot of opinions, and we're all just humans. We don't know what we're talking about. I do know that if you can't get your act together for yourself, you can't do it for anyone else. The only person you can heal for is yourself. You can't even do it for your child. As much as you might objectively think that would be good. The truth is, you have to choose to heal for yourself. So this person has to choose to heal, and this person has to choose to heal, and this child will benefit. It does look like the more materially oriented one is making good progress on mastering and learning to transmute, because that's what an alchemist does. They learn to take one thing and turn it into something else, or maybe even to many things. I don't know. And that is how they manifest their lives. I'm really curious about this Queen of Swords in reverse. Honestly, I'm really curious. I do think this King of Pentacles in the upright is the Magician. So it looks like the materially focused one has been making some very good progress. But the Queen of Swords is fighting it. Doesn't want to heed the call. Maybe it's because of a child. That could very well be the case. Or maybe, no, that's Page of Cups in the upright. That's odd. Three of Cups. So this can be communication. It can be friends. It can be socializing. It can be partying. It's not in reverse, so it doesn't look like toxic friends or excessive partying. The truth. Perhaps they're simply looking for the truth. They may be looking for true communication in some sense. Let's see. What will get this Queen of Swords to lower their sword? That's odd. Well, we have Six of Cups in reverse, so it seems that this Queen of Swords has some work that they need to do, probably in the area of childhood trauma of some kind. Maybe some truth that they need to see in regard to that. Well, honestly, it's none of our business. I don't know which one of you is the crow person, but I don't usually do this kind of a thing. Maybe this Queen of Swords is the crow person. Who is this Queen of Swords in reverse to the crow? Maybe I need another deck. I don't want that one. Don't mind me. I've still got things to sort out around here. Don't have a lot of time or energy to do it, unfortunately. Okay. Queen of Swords. Who is the Queen of Swords in relation to the crow person? Who is the Queen of Swords in relation to the crow person? Ace of Swords. That's the second Ace of Swords. This one is in reverse. And the Devil. Oh, crap. The Lovers was under there. It didn't come out. Are you the crow person? The Queen of Swords in reverse. You just don't want this. You're fighting it. You don't want to see the truth of it in some fashion. I think you're rejecting your intuition. I can understand it, but all right, crow person. Whether you are the Queen of Swords or not, let's get a final card for you from the Mystical Shaman deck. Of course, it was more than one card. We have the Sweat Lodge and the Sacrifice. So, the Sweat Lodge, of course, is about purification. But let's see what the book has to say. Sweat Lodge is 54, Sacrifice is 44. 4s may be significant to you. Oh, I opened right up to the sacrifice. The essence to sacrifice means to make sacred. The sacrifice is an offering of gratitude made from the heart, a feast of love prepared for spirit. In olden days, sacrifices sometimes involved rituals in which blood was offered to the gods. For example, in the Bible, Yahweh preferred Abel's sacrifice of one of his lambs to Cain's offering of vegetables and fruit. In Middle America, however, Quetzalcoatl, the Lord of the Dawn, came to teach that spirit preferred our songs and our prayers to the blood of humans or animals. The invitation. The sacrifice asks that you offer to spirit that which is most precious to you. Your offering will be sanctified and returned tenfold. You will be elevated to the altar at which you have been praying, and meet the divine at the table with the heavenly feast. You are a welcome guest in this banquet. Your heart is the only worthy offering you can bring. Life has been generous with you in so many ways. The medicine. What is the one person or thing that you feel you cannot live without? It is time to offer it all to Spirit so that it may unfold as it will. Do not cling to the old form or allow your sacrifice to weigh heavily upon you. You have sacrificed yourself and your dreams for too long. Now is the time to rededicate yourself to your journey. When you make sacred, you open the doors to infinite wealth. Do not delay. The Sweat Lodge, the essence. The Sweat Lodge represents the womb of Mother Earth. Volcanic stones are heated in a fire outside, then brought into the lodge and placed in a shallow hole in the center. Participants sit in complete darkness around the red-hot stones to sweat away old habits and beliefs and heal disease. When you return humbly to the womb of the mother, you are offered second chances. The invitation. This is the time to journey inward into the dark and hidden places of your soul to reconnect with the ancient earth wisdom. You can also create a sacred and intimate space in the dark by lighting a candle. Observe what emerges and, without judging it, invite it to bring you its gifts. You are being offered an opportunity to shed and heal from the aspects of your life you have outgrown. Do not worry that you will be consumed by the process. The medicine. Life is offering you a second chance. Take it, since this chance may not come your way again for a while. Mother Earth is calling you into her womb and inviting you to incubate as long as needed for a spiritual rebirth. Gift yourself time to be with your darkness, your fears, your pain, and your seeds of beautiful potential until you come out the other side free, wise, and full of creativity. That does sound like what you need, Queen of Swords. Something about this seems to be triggering some really old wounds for you. Perhaps this Page of Cups underneath here is yourself. Something from childhood that is blocking your progress. Time to sacrifice it and set yourself free. Wishing you all the best.